I cannot get rid of this Tim Mahoney cat. He's just so involved with Cordillera, and you have such good information, and we don't never have enough time to get it all.
Well, let's talk about speed. And
let's talk about speed in terms of what?
Club head speed.
Club
you
head
know,
speed.
Golfers, and one of the first questions I ask golfers, what's your goal for the lesson? They always say, I want to hit the ball further.
Of course.
I've never heard somebody say, I want to hit it shorter.
So, Tim, real quick, I teach fly fishing, and all the guys want to do is see how far they can throw the fly. It's not about the accuracy and the little pieces of the puzzle. It's all about how far can we throw it. The ladies pick it up quicker because they care more.
Yeah. And so, you know, golf is, technology has changed, so the golf ball is curving less. So now you can focus less on the club and more on the body. And what we're doing through True Golf Academy with Exos is looking at what body parts make the golf ball get more speed. So in the golf swing, there's three power sources. There is wrist cock, there is arm swing, and there's body turn. So let's talk for a minute about wrist cock, if you would. So that's why I've got this glove, which is a Nike glove. You see how it's,
Nike glove.
It looks good, doesn't it? Huh?
They all
fits me well.
You must be a 4 or 5 handicap with that glove.
After my lessons today, I might be. But you know what you want to do is, if you see a golfer whose glove is worn right here in the heel pad, I would definitely press the bet, because they're going to be a bad golfer.
Yeah.
Okay, so the glove should never wear. So what I do is you place the club in the fingers of your hand. So there's 3 checkpoints, left-hand grip. First checkpoint, heel pad on top, thumb aside, no gap. Right hand or lower hand, lifeline covers the thumb, form a trigger finger, and close all the gaps up.
So this has been consistent as far as long as I've played golf. It's never changed.
And I call it Harvey or Mr. Varden. So Mr. Varden is back in the 40s. So I was thinking that's 70 years, just a couple years before I was born, if you would. So this is a finger. So this is a finger grip. As a matter of fact, if you look at this month's Golf magazine, I've got a story in there about some different ways of holding the club. So you could overlap. Ball goes a little farther. It's called the Varden grip. You could interlock, which Jack Nicklaus, Jordan Spieth, Tiger Woods interlocks. And what happens with interlocking grip, there's less wrist cock, so the ball goes straighter, or you can 10-finger, which causes more height. So what you want to do is, with a club and the fingers, that allows you to cock your wrist. That's a big deal. So a checkpoint, when the left arm is parallel, the club shaft should be at 90 degrees. That's a big deal. As you go forward, it's the same position going forward. So if I don't hold the club in my fingers, if I hold my wrist, my club won't sit. So that's a big deal with power. Second, you got to swing the arms. So we mentioned fly fishing. You got to swing those arms with fly fishing, right? So as I make my back swing, my arms swing up. As I make my down swing, my arms swing down, and my arms swing forward. If I stand too far from the ball, right? If I stand too far from it, my arms will swing. Now, you ask the question, what happens when you tee a ball up? So a kind of a checkpoint is when you tee it up, you want the equator of the ball at the top of the club. So if I put that Nike swoosh right there, which is the equator, I've got that position right there at the top of the club. Now most golfers slice it, correct? They slice it because they're hitting down. So what happens is they pop one up, they tee it lower. What you want to do is you want to tee it high and keep the tee in the ground for driving. Now with irons or fairway woods, you want to tee it low. But with the driver, you want that ball tee as high as you can, because you want to launch the ball so the club is swinging more up at it. What happens if you tee it low, what happens? You got to swing more down it. The third power source is the body must turn freely on both sides of the swing. So as I make my back swing, you want your shoulders to turn 90 degrees. As I make my forward swing, you want your shoulders to turn 90 degrees as well. The biggest myth in golf is keeping your head down. You hear that all the time. Now, in 37 years of coaching golf, I've never told somebody to keep their head down. What happens if you keep your head down, what happens to your posture? You get around, you can't turn. So you want a nice, proud posture. That will allow your body to turn freely on both sides of the swing. You got to turn, you got to turn, you got to turn. So as I make my back swing, I load my right glute up, swing down, then I unload as I make my forward swing. So use the power sources, wrist, arms, and body on both sides of the swing. Turn freely on both sides.
And probably real quick, I mean, I bet you, you probably stretch a lot. There's a lot of exercises to
matter of fact, Suzanne's still giving me a hard time how I missed my first segment.
Not Suzanne.
I can't believe it. I know she's giving me a hard time.
She's going to hold that against you forever.
Oh, she is. I keep getting these texts, Mahoney, where are you? We're hurt. Well, you got to stretch.
Okay.
And I was stretching out there to sometimes put oil on your body, but the body has to move, and there's dynamic stretch and static stretch, and we have found that through dynamic stretching, it does help you. So the body must move freely. You got to create movement. As I make my back swing, I stretch to my right side, I swing down, stretch to the left side. So if you're tight, look at yoga. We do a great fitness program here with stretching classes. On Friday, I do a golf fitness class. That's on the tee with movement. So don't be afraid to move, because the golf ball is curving less, so you can be more dynamic with your motion.
Good info. Once
It's
again,
always a
Tim,
pleasure.
thank you. We're going to be checking in with you again in just a little bit. I've got a weather coming up next. We're going to let you know about sunshine all day long. Well, is it going to last? I got that information for you.